Hello friends, welcome back. In this video we are going to understand the complete working of this Mosquito Swatter bat circuit step by step, including the transformer construction details, winding directions, and Ferrite air gap setup. This circuit works from a 3V battery supply and uses a transistor-based self-oscillating inverter to generate a high voltage for the racket mesh. Now referring to the circuit diagram on your screens, when the push switch S1 is pressed, the circuit becomes active. The LED lights up immediately showing that power is available to the circuit. Now let us understand the main oscillator section. The transistor VT1 together with resistor R2 and transformer windings L1 and L2 forms a blocking oscillator circuit. Initially, resistor R2 provides a small base current to VT1 and switches it on. As the transistor turns on, current starts flowing through the transformer primary winding and builds magnetic flux inside the ferrite core. Due to feedback from the transformer winding, the transistor rapidly switches on and off continuously, producing high-frequency pulses. These pulses are then stepped up by the secondary winding L3 into a high-voltage AC signal. Now let us understand the transformer construction carefully because this is the most important part of the circuit. The transformer normally uses a small ferrite E core taken from old CFL circuits, mobile chargers, or small SMPS transformers. The center ferrite limb should preferably have a tiny air gap. Usually a paper thickness gap of around 0.2 mm to 0.5 mm is enough. The air gap is important because it prevents ferrite core saturation and helps the oscillator run more efficiently and more reliably. For the windings, L1 and L2 are the primary feedback windings. L3 is the high-voltage secondary winding. Typically, L1 may use around 10 turns. L2 may also use around 10 turns. Both are wound using thick copper wire around 0.5 mm to 0.8 mm thickness. L3 uses many more turns, typically between 200 and 500 turns depending on the ferrite core size and required output voltage. L3 should use thin enameled copper wire, usually around 0.1 mm to 0.2 mm. Now the winding direction is extremely important. L1 and L2 must be wound in opposite phase orientation for correct transistor oscillation. This means if L1 winding starts clockwise, then L2 feedback polarity connection must support regenerative feedback. The dot markings shown in the diagram indicate the winding phase direction. If the circuit does not oscillate after construction, simply reverse the L2 wire connections. That immediately fixes the feedback phase problem in most cases. The secondary winding L3 is wound over an insulated layer above the primary windings. Always place insulation tape between layers for safety because the secondary generates several hundred volts. After the transformer generates high voltage AC, the output enters the diode and capacitor multiplier stage made using 31N4007 diodes and capacitors C1, C2, and C3. This section rectifies and boosts the voltage further into high voltage DC. The high voltage finally reaches the racket mesh. When an insect touches both mesh layers simultaneously, it completes the high voltage path and receives an electric discharge. The resistor R3, which is 20 megaohms, acts as a bleeder resistor and slowly discharges the capacitors after switching off the circuit. Without this resistor, dangerous voltage could remain stored in the capacitors for a long time. So that's it friends. If you enjoyed this detailed explanation, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.